going on, family? Strat back here again from Strategic Audio with a brand new music production video, and I'm going to be making a melodic piano type beat. Whatever you think that is, hopefully by the time I'm done, you'll recognize that, okay, yeah, that's what this is. What I have in mind is a little bit different to the really vintagey, soulful type stuff that I would normally do. It's a little bit more high energy. Maybe you could say it's a little bit more up-tempo, still very hip-hop, maybe a little more modern than the type of 90s boom bap that you might associate my style with. Definitely more modern than the vintage soul stuff, but hopefully you will enjoy. I'll do my best to explain my thought process while I'm making some of the decisions that I make. I mean, of course, everything here is going to be completely from scratch, and I'm going to try to do it in such a way that you can learn something or even just be inspired. Now, before I start, if you really appreciate this type of stuff, drop a like on the video, consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help. Thank you so much for your support. But now, let's hop right into the video. Oh, by the way, links in the description to a whole bunch of free and premium loops and samples. So if you feel like supporting your boy, you know what to do. We would be much appreciated. Let's go. What I'm doing here now, I'm just preparing the vibe of the piano. I like my pianos to have a particular energy to them even before I start to play, so that when I do play, it gets me in the mode of what I'm trying to make. So I'm going to add a nice reverb using Valhalla Supermassive, one of the best free reverb plugins still in my opinion around, and Cymatics Origin, which is one of the best plugins for adding a little bit of vintage feel to your tracks. Saturation, movement, vinyl noise, you can even add a chorus. And this big knob here is essentially where you can adjust the actual sample rate, or maybe I should say it gives the effect of adjusting the sample rate of what you're playing. So it's not just cutting out the high end, it's actually it's actually kind of degrading it, which adds to that vintage feel. But of course, with this particular style that I have in my head to do, I don't want it to be too vintage, but you'll see what I mean. So I'm playing in the key of B minor, and the chord structure is simple. I start out with a B minor 7, I go to the A major, and then I hit the G major 7 with a little bit of melody here. And then for the second half, it's an E minor 7 chord, an F sharp or a G flat minor 7 chord, then a B minor 7 again, and finally I ended on an A major. Kind of a weird up and down chord progression, but that is what I felt like doing at the time. I'm going to try, I'm using this Arturia Stage 73 plugin to add a Rhodes on top, playing the same chords as the piano basically. Just a smooth kind of layer to give it a little bit of body. I'll try it and see if it works. So I like that guitar. I essentially wanted to find something that stays within the scale, the B minor scale, of course, and gave it a little bit of an extra melody on top of the keys, because the keys are both sets of keys are just basically playing the same thing. So the guitar comes in and kind of counters. You might call it a counter melody. I don't tend to stick too closely to all the traditional things. You know, I just go with feeling. But I kind of like this, and so I'm going to keep building off here. It's really simple. For that guitar, I was using the pentatonic scale, so I just found where the B section was using an E shape on the guitar. These are things that you might have to look up. Look up E shape. You use the E string. So let's continue. Not sure what I'm going to do next, but we'll see. So that was just a nice little vocal layer using Omnisphere to add a subtle background vocal texture that basically follows, to some extent, the main chord progression. It's actually kind of a harmony essentially to the main chord progression, but it's very subtle. The idea there was not to try to completely layer every single chord in the chord progression. The idea there was to add something that would basically be an accent. As you can see, it just punches in on certain parts. That adds dynamics to your composition and makes it a little more interesting to the listener's ear. Now, opening up BBC Symphony Orchestra by Spitfire here, and I'm going to play around with some strings until I find something I like. Beautiful, nice little harmony again. Copy it, alt it down. Let's see how that sounds. So I'm gonna add some various EQs to some of these just to allow them to have their own space in the frequency spectrum. So this is a basic vocal EQ here. I like to give the vocals a little bit of a boost in this range, like around 4,000, between 4,000 and 3,000 hertz. Try to cut out some of the muddiness down here, and in this particular case, I want to make sure that there is very little low end in the vocal. It sounds really full. Let me just add some drums now, and that will be it. No snare on this one today. Today, it's gonna be a clap. We're getting jiggy today. So that was how I do my 808s generally. I copy the pattern from the kick onto the 808 channel and then manipulate the 808 from there. Always make sure your 808 is in key. You get your 808, you right click, edit in audio editor. It comes up in Edison, as you can see here, and it gives you the key. It says C#2. The 2 tells you where on the keyboard that note actually is. So if you go over here, you see it says C2 here, which means that this is C#2. And that is the key of the 808. So when I right click this, I tell it that the root note, in other words, the key of this particular one sharp is C#, but the octave is down at the low end of the keyboard, C#2. That way I can play my 808 across the keyboard like if it were a normal keyboard-based instrument. So now I'm gonna kind of mix, master, and arrange this and play it for you at the very end. But before I do that, I want to say thanks to everyone for watching. Even if this video gets 50 views, I don't really care. It's something that I enjoy doing. Essentially just took you through my process of how I make like a melodic, kind of chill, piano-based hip-hop beat. I have no idea who I might hear rapping or singing or whatever on this. This is just what I felt like making. And yeah, so if you enjoyed it, found it informative, inspiring, or educational, please drop the video a like and consider subscribing. Once again, links to the description to premium kits, free kits, loop samples. Strategic Audio provides some of the best. And peace, and I'll see you in the next video. Now stay tuned for the final mix of the beat.